All right, this is the Squared Circle Jerks podcast for the weekly recap of everything going on in the WWE plus news from elsewhere.
Warriors!
And this is my co-host and hiccuping aficionado, Byron. There we go. Okay, let's just dive right into Raw here. Raw opened on a bad note because we're back in the era of Stephanie McMahon promos to open the show.
Until the Shield came out, and then I skipped some more, and then Roman's like, "Fuck you, bitch." Pretty much is what's up.
Yeah, Kurt got his balls cut off. The Shield tried to give him back his balls with some success. And we just end up with Shield challenging New Day. People have often said, what is the difference between Stephanie McMahon doing this and, for example, Vince McMahon? Because we liked Vince McMahon as the heel authority figure.
Because Vince McMahon got the shit kicked out of him at some point.
That's where I was going with this, is there was a comeuppance for Vince. Stone Cold Steve Austin got to stunner him. Rock got to rock bottom him. No one gets a comeuppance on Steph. Like, even the women don't. So that's why the heel authority figure doesn't work. Doesn't work if you're not willing to take a bump.
You may agree that we will now...
You're getting a little robot-y on me.
Well, that's not my fault.
That's always your fault.
That's possibly true, but
there, we're good now.
The whiskey.
We're good now. Okay.
Can we agree to refer to that as the Uranagi bottom?
Sure.
Yay! New Japan rules.
Then we have a spot on the Raw women's team up for grabs between Bayley, Mickie James, and Dana Brooke. Rumor is that Paige was supposed to be in this match and win it, but she kind of spoiled her own debut and has heat backstage.
Man, is she ever bad at her job?
Kinda.
Jesus Christ. Now, let's be clear. Bayley, or Mickie James should already be on the team, and Bayley wins this spot. Why Alicia Fox is on this team... And this is... Okay, so Alicia Fox is now the female gender Maul? Yeah, correct?
Kind of, in the sense that they don't seem to know how to consistently book her.
Yeah, you're a jobber. Now you're team captain.
Yeah, the transformation from getting beaten easily by Sasha Banks to being badass was really poorly done. So, anyways, Dana Brooke looked pretty good early on, and then she decided to assault Asuka when Asuka was helping her at ringside. And that was a bad call, because Asuka beat her ass. And then, shortly after that, Bayley hit a belly-to-Bayley suplex on Mickie, got the three. And Bayley is on Team Raw, so all that kind of tension they teased with Sasha Banks and her, out the door. Boom. So not impressive. Then we had Enzo and Drew Gulak time. And I've said this before, I love this pairing. I love this pairing. It's the odd couple pairing. It really works very, very well. And, Gulak's doing his make 205 live great again, and Enzo's just cutting him down going, it's already great.
You know what the thing that makes this the best is that neither one of these guys go too far. It's very clear who's in charge, and it's very clear who's oblivious to that. And it's very clear that neither one of these guys wants to listen. We're going to tip the boat a little bit, but we're not going to rock that shit till we take water on. And it's great. It's a great balancing act. It's something that the WWE has no clue how to do.
And I say this as someone who didn't like the idea of Gulak being part of the Zoe train. I thought it didn't really fit. Proven wrong. Well,
no, that's the point, is it doesn't fit at all, yet it's so good. The only thing better than this is Fashion Police.
Yeah!
You got Fashion Police, you got the Zoe Garlic Express, and you've got a big drop-off to number 3.
And then Gulak is going to give us his testimonial about the Zoe train via probably PowerPoint. And Kalisto interrupts him, which brings us to our tag match of Enzo and Gulak versus Tozawa and Kalisto. And we get some lucha chants. with a little more emphasis on the ha because of Tozawa.
That's Luch Ha.
Lucha!
Luch Ha.
And we just end up with Enzo hitting the Jodunzo on Tozawa and getting the win after knocking Kalisto.
I remember this being... I didn't take notes. Spoiler alert, I watched Raw and SmackDown this week, but I didn't take notes for either because that's 5 hours of my life that I refuse to note down. Anyway, I remember this match being totally fine, and then the last third of it being really good. It all kind of came together. No wasted movements. It all played together logically, in time, on step, no problem, no issues. Ding, 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 done. And I seem to remember putting this as number 2. This is the second best match of the night, but I can't remember what else is on the card, so I don't know what to tell you about number 1.
It was up there. I'd probably put it gonna go with number 3.
What's above this?
The Bar versus the Shield, and Balor and Joe versus the Club.
Oh yeah, that's number 1. Balor and Joe versus the Club is definitely number 1. I don't remember, again, specifics, not up my alley, but had I written that down, I probably would have had something more to say about it at this point.
Then we had a team meeting for Team Raw where Kurt basically just lays out the remainder of the card. Jason Jordan's going to try and prove himself up against Bray Wyatt, and Joe and Balor are going to have a little team building exercise against Anderson and Gallows. And Braun Strowman wants Kane.
Wait. No. Strowman. Oh, where the...
Strowman wants Kane. He's not taking no for an answer. And it's true. It's damn true. Then we move on to a Miz TV segment with Sheamus and Cesaro, which I swear is like the 6th time they've been his guest on Miz TV.
In a row, bro.
They do some burying of Baron Corbin. The problem with this is Miz is doing some great mic work against Baron Corbin. I don't care about the match, and nothing they can do will make me care about the match because of how both men have been booked. And you're a robot again.
No, I'm not.
There you go, we're back.
Yay!
So Sheamus and Cesaro are just go through this whole thing about how they kept their eyes on the prize. And then kind of in a flip-flop, they implied they didn't care about Raw, but that they are the A show, and they're going to beat up the Usos for Raw. Bit weird.
Yeah, well, anything that... Oh, by the way, it's the Uso... Fuck. Well, goddamn. How are we supposed to sell this again? Because... nobody cares about the Usos?
Apparently, Cesaro has to wear the mouthpiece to hide his braces because WWE doesn't want to show his braces on camera.
Fuck that. Give him the... Okay, here's what you do. This is here's what you do, Vince. What you do is you go back to the 1990s. This is something you might be good at. Probably not, but okay. You go look up a rapper named Method Man, who is probably the top 3 best lyricist of all time, and he went out and got himself some big metal shark teeth. Because everybody else was putting diamonds on their teeth, and he was like, fuck that shit, I'm going to look like I can hurt somebody with my mouth. And you do that. Don't do this gum shield technology thing. You make him look like he's the Swiss cyborg. How does metal in the face not try and sell the cyborg part of the kind of fucking... I'm sorry, I'm having a mental breakdown now. How old people don't understand shit.
Anyways, this promo hypes us up for their matchup with the Shield later on tonight in a 6-man. Everyone did a really good job here. It's just, like I said, it doesn't matter. Like, The Rock couldn't sell me on Miz. Like, if The Rock was Miz in a hypothetical world, he could not sell me on a match with Baron Corbin.
No.
And that's the problem. Then we had Bray Wyatt versus Jason Jordan. I like the opening of this match. Jordan comes out pretty strong, looking pretty good, and then he injures himself coming off the top rope. And then Bray starts to dominate, but gets rolled up when he goes for his sister Abigail. And then Bray attacks afterwards and hits a pretty sweet Uranagi and just destroys Jordan's knee. which plays into the storyline later on in the night. This was okay.
It's alright. I don't remember any part of it being bad. Jordan, it's too early for Jordan. They should have had American Alpha just wrestle a shitload of matches. I don't understand. Well, I mean, it's Vince. It's a tag team. You break it up because you could make money if they were still together. It's just Vince, I guess. I don't have any other explanation.
Pretty much. Then we had a little backstage thing where Jordan is basically going to get replaced, and he's begging Kurt not to do it. And then we had Heyman promo time with Bouncing Brock, and this was interesting because Heyman's promo got interrupted by a wedding proposal, apparently.
And Heyman ruined their night.
Indeed, you do not go against Paul Heyman's promo. Stepping into the ring with me in a promo is like stepping into the ring with Brock Lesnar. You don't have a chance. So this was good, Ms. Heyman. And, he clearly is way more enjoying this than trying to build up Brock and Mahal. Then we had the 6-man, Shield versus Miz and Bar. And I actually really enjoyed Ambrose no-shelling Cesaro's chops and just kind of walking across the ring. That was amusing to me. Booker T was in full back-in-my-day mode here. I hadn't noticed him prior to this in the show, which is good. That is the best thing I could say about Booker T, is if I don't notice him. And this is where that ended.
I swear to God, Booker T has 5 aneurysms an hour, forgets where he is, forgets what he does, forgets anything about wrestling, and just... And then they have to calm him down, give him some pills. I don't know. Is this some sort of weird long-term self-sabotage angle where they eventually wheel Booker T out in a wheelchair and get a lot of sympathy? Or are they just clinically bad at their jobs? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't. I don't get it. The match was pretty good. It was a solid 6-man. Roman was kept to a somewhat minimum, which is expected. He was, very, very ill.
Got a tapeworm.
And they finish off with Miz walking into a spear and a shield bomb for the 3. By the way, some really well-timed dives from both Ambrose and Rollins in this one. Just like tight.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun match. It did everything it really needed to do, but having Miz eat the pin makes me care even less about Miz versus Baron. I know it's a lost cause, and I just said that. I still would like to see them try to build up that match as something, and just repetitively pinning the Miz doesn't really do that, while having Baron repetitively do stupid things with Sin Cara.
Yeah, there's and that mid card. Okay, so who's even top of the card anymore? Because I'm totally confused as to who's going to be mid card, who's going to be upper mid card, and who's top of the card. It seems as though you can be a total jobber and they'll put you in the main event. This is beyond 50-50 booking these days. I really don't know who I should be cheering for, because I know that the next week you're going to make them lose, and the next week after that, you might make them lose, or you might make them win, or I honestly, there's the Shield. Okay, you're pushing the Shield. Brock Lesnar never wrestles, so I don't care. That's it. That's all you got. That's your entire... Oh, wait, you have the one female segment a week. Groovy. Yeah.
Then we had a...
Who am I supposed to cheer for?
The faces.
Yeah, but they lose all the time, so fuck them.
Then we had a resolution to the fifth man on Team Raw. Basically, Angle comes out. He's presumably replacing Jordan. Jordan comes out and begs. This killed Jason Jordan. Holy shit. He has to go heel now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was no choice from the outset. After they announced him, my illegitimate son, and people were like, yay, okay, cool. And the next week they're like, bored already.
It's because it's not been done well. Like, he's not been given any interesting story.
They don't do anything well.
Yeah. So basically, in summary, Jordan begs, Steph is a bitch, Triple H is on Team Raw.
Yay!
And Triple H pedigrees Jordan. By the way, the youngest man on Team Raw is Braun Strowman, who I believe is 34. And the youngest man on Team SmackDown is Randy Orton, who is 37. Wow. Are we on a mission to not make new stars with this whole thing?
Go part-timers. Go part-timers.
Then we had Balor and Joe versus the Club. I enjoyed this. It was a dysfunctional tag team match, but they, after getting, debating who was going to start the match and literally Balor getting shoved into the middle of the ring, they pretty much were fine after that. They start to dominate the match. Balor. I had it written down here. Balor was the youngest man at Survivor Series, but I looked up Strowman, and Strowman is younger. But Balor is the second youngest man in the 10-man Survivor Series match. Holy shit!
Please go back to New Japan.
Club got a bit of a moment there where they took over on Balor, but eventually we get a hot tag to Joe. He clears the ring. Uranagi for Anderson. Gallows gets knocked to the outside and gets kicked in the face by Balor. Suicide dive by Joe out onto Gallows. And Balor hits the coup de grace on Anderson for the final. Loved the finish. Loved the story of the match. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. It's kind of like the one that I spoke about earlier. It's the first 2/3 of the match were kind of a match that happened. Totally did. And then the last third of the match all came together, ducks in a row, ding, 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 and finish. The finish was great. The rest of the match was acceptable enough. It's standard. I've seen you all do all of these moves literally every week for the past 2-3 years. And then you did some cool stuff at the end. Pretty much.
Yeah. And then we got a delusional heel promo from Miss Bliss, where she talks about how SmackDown is the B show because Bliss left. It's always been the B show. Let's be real. And she might actually show up to watch Natty versus Charlotte live. So basically hinting into the invasion that we would get later on the following night.
Yep.
And then we had Kane and Braun Strowman, and this fucking sucked.
Yeah, I would like to state for the record, this match showcases with glaring and jarring light how good the Big Show is.
Yes.
The Big Show took Braun. Did they have 2 matches or 3?
They had a bunch of house show matches. I think they had like 2 or 3 on the actual TV.
Yeah, so I don't know. Let's say they had 3 because I don't remember specifically. But those matches of Strowman versus the Show were, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, the best of Strowman's career.
One of his matches with Roman Reigns might actually be the best. As much as I don't hate to give Roman Reigns credit like some. I just think WWE has mishandled him. Yeah, well, maybe the ambulance match, because he showed the big monster showed intelligence. He swerved the fucking Buffalo. He suckered him in. Well done on the finish. But other than that, any match with the Big Show, big man versus big man, monster versus monster, were fantastic. Shocking at times. This versus Kane, I don't understand. I've seen the slam through the mat in my lifetime. I want to say I've seen it 10 times. It's probably not that many times, but it feels like it. This match,
made it feel like I've seen it more than 10 times.
Yeah.
That's how poorly done it was.
In fairness, I think you can get a good match out of Braun versus Kane. I just think that the problem here is they were going out of their way to not have them have a match.
Yeah.
And basically Braun puts Kane through the ring after we had some plunder and big man brawling spots on the outside. Terribly done. Yeah, no, it wasn't. This was not the time you break the mat. You don't break the ring mat with this. For a variety of reasons, one of the which is Kane's not big enough. If you're trying to sell the power of Strowman, there's a dozen different ways you can do it better than this. It's just, I mean, it worked for Bam Bam Bigelow versus Taz. It worked for Lesnar versus, was it Lesnar versus Big Show? Lesnar versus Show broke the ring, yeah.
They've
also done it with Mark Henry.
Fair enough. World's Strongest Man. You got the hype behind you. It's not real, but it's a thing. It's a gimmick. Did they do it with The Undertaker?
I don't think they've ever done the broken ring with The Undertaker unless he was getting thrown through by someone bigger.
I don't think that ever happened. I'm going to say it never. I'm going to go say. I'm going to go say it never happened. And yeah, this wasn't it. I don't know, like, who had the short. Oh fuck! What do we do? Vince just. I'm going to go out on a limb. Vince changed the finish and wanted some kind of schmozzle, and nobody had a better idea. So like, oh fuck, just cut out some supports and we'll break the ring again. Because that, like, a break the ring is special. You pull that out every 5 or 10 years. You don't pull that out twice in 1 year.
The other problem with it is that, okay, Braun put Kane through. Why am I supposed to want to see this match anymore? Because basically, Kane has gotten his arse beaten by Braun every step of the way. Except for no-selling a power slam at one point and throwing Braun into the garbage truck with the help of, 3 other guys.
Wrong garbage truck, too.
And keep in mind, he survived the garbage truck and came back. So, Braun Strowman has beaten Kane badly in this feud. Like, I'm not really all that interested.
And they had Kane try to, I heard his body being crushed under the garbage. Like, fuck off. Suck all of the genitalia that you find distasteful. That is the worst promo I have ever heard. And I expect way better from Glenn Jacobs.
And they, of course, had Kane crush Finn Balor to set this feud up. Which was terrible because you just given Balor a win over AJ. Which, by the way, Balor is on Team Raw, Kurt. He lost horribly to Kane. Why is Kane not a Team Raw?
Kane totally be on Team Raw. Matter of fact, since The Miz hired Kane, The Miz should be on Team Raw, because obviously he's with the Imperium.
Well, he has a match, so, that's logic.
He should wrestle twice in one night. He's the greatest wrestler of all time.
Then we get on to Smackdown, and we have, basically hype up the locker room scene from Shane McMahon here.
That's a good scene.
I like the scene conceptually. I just think that with the backdrop of the SmackDown Raw feud being as horribly done as it is, it's not particularly good. I will say one thing about it, though, is you should not have had Baron Corbin and Kalisto with, like, one guy between them. Or not Kalisto, Sin Cara.
Well, you know what? You shouldn't have had Baron Corbin there at all, because that's not his fucking gimmick!
That too. Well, he was part of the Invasions, and Miz has been talking a lot of shit about him, so I can get behind that a little bit. It's more like he hates Miz so much that he's there.
Listen, here's how you do this. Here's how you do this so you're not a fucking idiot that goes against the guy's entire goddamn gimmick. Fucking retards. You have him stand in the back, because he's a loner, a lone wolf. I think that they even maybe say that on TV a couple of times, maybe. Kind of, sort of, a little bit. And you have him yell at the top of his lungs that he's going to beat the shit out of the guy, and you have him kick the door open and storm the fuck out of the room.
Yeah, that would have worked much better. Like, instead, you had Bobby Roode between him and Sin Cara. It's like, aren't these two having like a blood feud right now where like he's trying to rip off Sin Cara's mask? Like, what the hell?
Don't worry, Bobby Roode probably paid them both off.
And we have the problem of, again, SmackDown versus Raw. This is not all that well done because here's a couple of problems. Very recently, John Cena has transferred brands for nothing over to SmackDown, is on Team SmackDown. Kane, when he came back, left SmackDown to go to Raw for nothing. Jason Jordan went from SmackDown to Raw for nothing. They've done nothing to maintain these two as separate brands or give me any reason why the superstars on one brand don't like the superstars on the other brand.
Because they're racist.
I mean, they did this actually. This is the thing. They did this reasonably well in the first brand split when we first had a Raw and a SmackDown roster. People stayed more or less on one side or the other. And when they didn't, there was a storyline and it was addressed. It was Eric Bischoff or Stephanie McMahon being like super, super sneaky type deal. Like Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit left because they didn't want to deal with Bischoff, so they went to SmackDown. So well done. This time with the brand split, they've done terrible because you've had people going to other brands for no reason and no compensation. Like, I understand Jason Jordan went to Raw because we got to do the Kurt Angle son gimmick. Okay. Who did SmackDown get back for that? Because the answer, as far as I can tell, is nobody.
Well, here's the deal. Vince has been stuck in Vince land for a very long time and doesn't understand that sports exist, like real sports. And listen, I am a lifelong wrestling fan. But it has become very apparent in the last 10 years that Vince has gone out of his way to declare the fact that his shit is not a sport. It is, in essence, dance theater.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I'm just talking about the story of the whole thing.
So,
like,
Vince,
again, I don't care if...
What I'm saying is, Vince doesn't understand drafting, trading, or any form of reality when it comes to professional sports. He is incapable of maintaining any kind of facade whatsoever, to the point where he's making TV shows about behind the scenes, about exposing the business. Which, if that's the way you're going to go, why are we even having any of this brand split shit? Like, just... none of it makes sense. Why are you having any pretenses whatsoever? You have the females on a female show on your network, which I guess is also on regular TV, the Diva thing.
Yeah, the Total Divas and Total Bellas.
Groovy, where's Total Lana? Because she deserves her own show. Anyway, why do we have any pretense whatsoever? Why don't we just have 24/7, 365, just have a dude with a camera literally following every wrestler all the time and filming everything, including having them, grab each other's dicks in the back and then, discussing how they're going to play out the match, and then we'll watch the match because we already know how the match is going to end, and, what are we doing here? Seriously.
We're failing. That's what we're doing.
Oh yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
Then we get Daniel Bryan talking to the crowd, and this was pretty good. He didn't agree with the invasion, but Raw's out for blood. He got attacked, and he's a proud member of Team SmackDown and stands behind the roster 100%.
You're going to have a conversation.
And then AJ Styles comes out, and we get Brian Heyman.
Yeah. This was great.
This was amazing.
Was the best.
I feel like he's been making up this promo for like years to talk about himself and Brock, and he's like, it all works with AJ.
Yeah, totally. And AJ's like, would you like your very own advocate? And AJ's like, alright, yeah. Give her.
My name is Daniel Bryan.
That got the biggest pop of the entire night.
It did. This was the best thing of the week. Brian basically says that Brock is a quitter, talking about both WWE and UFC, actually. And then he cannot keep up with AJ all night long.
All Night Express. Where's Titus? And what's that other guy?
Apollo Crews.
No. Apollo Crews wasn't in the All Night Express?
Oh, no, he was not.
What's wrong with you?
What do you mean, All Night Express?
The All Night Express.
Kenny King and Rhett Titus. Yeah.
Yeah, you got Titus and you got the other bitch boy thingamabob.
Mm-hmm. We got a second verse from AJ, but I'm sorry, he couldn't live up to Daniel Bryan.
No, he tried. He tried real hard. It was real close, but it wasn't that good.
Then we move on to Sin Cara versus Baron Corbin U.S. title match.
Why?
Sin Cara got a fast start, but it's short-lived. He gets worked out for a bit, then he hits a moonsault to the outside, which was pretty sweet. Goes for a swanton, but he misses, and then Baron hits the end of days for the 3 count.
I'm going to go ahead and call it right now. Sin Cara is going to get released.
Corey Graves here, just weirdness, and the problem with having him on both shows is on Raw, he's talking about how good The Miz is, and then on SmackDown, he's like, The Miz needs to be very afraid of Baron Corbin. God damn it.
Yeah, I actually didn't notice that he was on both shows until I was halfway through SmackDown. I went, oh shit. I think Sin Cara is going to get released. He's got 0 muscle definition. He may or may not still have heat backstage, and he's nothing on the card.
Pretty much.
He's literally nothing.
Then we got title match number 2, Charlotte Flair versus Natty Neidhart.
So good.
I wasn't big on it, to be honest.
I enjoyed the match. I don't remember.
I think I probably just had too high of standards for these two ladies to actually meet in a TV match.
Listen right here. If I am Byron Meltzer right now, and I'm gonna give this a star rating, it's gonna get like a 3.
Mm-hmm.
But because I think that I legitimately think that these two could have a legitimate Meltzer score 6-star match. I think that is true, and I hope to see it in the future. But since it's on live TV and Vince is still alive, please somebody use a pillow. Not that I'm advocating murder. I mean, he might be uncomfortable. Please just comfort the old man. Maybe he'll have a longer nap and we can get some real booking done. It's only going to be a good WWE match, which is to say that it is, at best, average.
Pretty much.
So, with that in mind, I was pleased to see that these two can tell a story, they can pull off moves, they can do everything they need to do in the match. And then after the match was spectacular.
Uh-huh. Charlotte wins the title with the figure 8, and then has one of those weird in-ring interview things. By the way, someone won in their hometown. It's amazing.
Yeah, here's the deal. Winning in the hometown should be a 50-50 thing, not 1 in 1,000.
Yeah.
B, interviewing after the match is garbage. Have the wrestler demand a microphone and speak for themselves, you idiots.
Yeah, it's no offense to Renee Young, who's trying with these things. It's not working.
Renee Young is great. Renee Young is spectacular. Renee Young deserves way more credit than she's getting and way more screen time than she's getting. I would make her a valet of some sort, maybe for the Shield. I just get Renee Young way more involved than she is now in all regards because she's fantastic.
Uh-huh.
But doing these stupid, I'm out of breath, you're asking me questions, I gotta take a minute. That's the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard.
Like, it's something they do in UFC, and I don't enjoy it in UFC, so why would I enjoy it here?
The only reason it works in UFC is because Joe Rogan's a god among men.
Well, that and you have a bunch of people who may or may not say some really politically incorrect shit.
That is also
such as Colby Covington calling the entire nation of Brazil filthy animals.
Correct.
And having now been hit with a boomerang.
Oh, man. But I enjoyed the match. I teared up a little bit after the match. Because I thought I knew what was coming. And I was correct.
And you're correct that Ric Flair's in the house.
Woo!
Then we went to a Bludgeon Brothers promo.
Okay, so that happened. And I went and took a giant shit. And I didn't bother pausing. So I don't know what that could have happened. It must have happened, I guess.
It was nighttime in this promo, and that's the only thing different from their other ones. Then we had Chad Gable versus Jimmy Uso. Chad Gable going after the knee of the Uso that he hasn't messed the knee up of.
Whoa.
And Jimmy takes out his knee, so a little turnabout is fair play.
I don't remember anything about this match.
Well, then I'll finish it up, because there's not much else to say. The end comes when Gable gets into it at ringside with Jey Uso, because Jey is holding up the belt.
Oh yeah, there was a switcheroo. A switcheroo, dumbass. Vince woke up from a coma finish.
And then Jey distracts Gable until him and Gable and Benjamin take him out, but then Jimmy hits a super kick, gets the 3. They get some momentum heading into their match with the Bar. I'm fine with an Uso going over here, but the match wasn't very good.
Garbage.
Then we had Sammy and KO doing a little bitching before their match with the New Day. And then we got New Day versus KO and Sammy.
This is another one of those I don't really remember specifics about the match because the match itself wasn't that good. It was just everybody hit all of their very basic moves. Everybody did all of the cookie cutter shit. This was kind of a Kalisto match, which we'll get into a little later. Everybody did the very same things they are all supposed to do because Vince says you have to do your signature thing every single match and nobody gets over. And then the ending was kind of garbage too, right?
Yeah, well, it was basically the Shield's theme hitting, and they invaded along with a bunch of other people from Raw.
Oh yeah, no, hold on. Oh, I remember because it would look like like the Usos and or was it New Day?
New Day.
The new Usos, they were all in the ring together, all 17 of them, and then they kept looking to Owens and Zayn, and I remember Zayn and Owens not really looking back. Not so much. Like, they were looking forward. They were looking at stuff to, looking long term. And if you want to get metaphorical. And then as soon as anybody got near ringside, they're like, meh, peace.
Yeah, the Shield did their surround the ring thing, and KO and Sammy did what someone should have done to this whole surround the ring thing way earlier. They went out the side that wasn't occupied. Anyways, we get the Usos come to help, and the ladies but the ladies have invaded the Smackdown locker room, and Joe leads Balor and Titus Worldwide to the ring to reinforce things. Shane comes out with Baron, Bobby Roode, Dolph and the Hype Bros, Nakamura, and then Angle and Braun are there as well. I will say, it's a reasonably well done invasion spot, but I would have kept, somewhat similar to how the show opened up with Baron Corbin and Sin Cara being way too close together, I would have kept Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman much further apart.
Get hype.
Because they were in a blood feud where, again, Roman Reigns attempted to murder him, so they really shouldn't be coexisting. I can buy they're both fighting for Raw, but, keep them apart. Way apart.
So what you're saying is they ain't hype?
They ain't hype.
They ain't hype!
And Braun basically destroys everybody, and Shane has to watch his guys get beat up before eating a shield bomb and an angle slam.
Didn't he get another shield bomb?
Just the one, I think.
I thought it was two.
I think it was just the one.
Well, I'm going to say two, because I like that sort of angle.
And then we go on to 205 Live for Kalisto's birthday.
For real! We opened up with your boy Enzo and your boy Andrew Garlic and a cake, which I have noted here is hopefully also not with garlic. It's a pretty good promo. They just kind of... I remember at your boy Gulak's Gabagulak going, is that fondant? Which, I don't know why that sticks in my head, but it does. So it was an alright promo to open the show with your boy and your other boy. And then we moved on to a Gallagher and Kendrick versus Dick Duck versus Cedric. You had the heels come out, and you had your boy Dick Duck come out. And he went 3-point land over the top. Gotta announce the hometown boy, Cedric Alexander from Charlotte, North Carolina. And the crowd didn't react.
Yeah, really a pretty lackluster reaction on this one.
His music, there was a bit of a, yeah, and then his music hit and it went, oh. Yeah, well, yeah.
We got a very rare tornado tag here, which is kind of neat.
Yeah. I have a note here that says tornado tag match? Why? Interesting, but why? There was a very brief and very minor Cedric chant. It was kind of just your average, again, WWE match. Everybody hits their signature thing. Nobody hits their finisher until near the end. There was a Captain's Hook locked on that is still pretty trash. I don't know if Kendrick knows about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I think he does, and I don't know why he does this Captain's Hook thing, because he's had better submission holds over the years.
Well, I mean, all he has to do is, he has to just turn the clock. He's got the rear chin lock, cool, turn the clock, hook the guy's leg, and he can't move. Therefore, your hold is locked on. End of story. He just needs a small adjustment, and it becomes a really good finisher. He's just not aware that physical reality is a thing, I guess.
They had two big save spots here from Rich Swann. Alexander looks like he's kind of out in the Captain's Hook, but Swann keeps his arm from falling.
Yeah, also
saved him from a sliced bread.
To get Swann into the Fujiwara armbar, it was heck-a-duty contrived. Like, oh, you're coming through the ropes. Here, let me gently lead you 3/4 of the way across the ring, place you on the ground, and I'm going to grasp your arm firmly, and we are going to perform what is known as a, air quotes, spot.
Yeah, that part was not particularly good.
No, and I'm not going to go ahead, I'm not going to lay any blame on Jack's part, because I think that should have gone a different way, and Jack was just following instructions.
Yeah, that's kind of largely the problem with that.
Yeah, it's bad, and they should feel bad.
Yeah.
So you had yourself a double submission and no tap.
Yep.
And then my final note says, meh. Okay match with way too many finishers that were totally pointless.
Kinda.
I honestly don't even remember who won this match because it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm going to take you there.
Oh, please do.
The end comes as Rich Swann nails Jack with a super kick and a diving DDT to the outside, and that's a good spot. And that allowed Alexander to have a little one-on-one time with Mr. Kendrick. He hit a neutralizer and then a lumbar check for the win. I like the match because it's a solid story, the faces overcoming the devious heels. But this storyline has been pretty terrible because... So our basic idea is Rich Swann is a clown and is holding Cedric back.
Somehow.
But they're never losing. And Rich Swann came up with 2 big saves where basically Kendrick should have lost the match on the submission hold and the sliced bread.
Correct.
And he didn't give up to being simultaneously locked in a Fujiwara armbar and a bully choke.
Also correct.
Which is the captain's hook. So, man, if this were the blow off to the feud, where the heels had actually been beating up Swann for a while, and Alexander was getting frustrated with him, and you thought there was a heel turn coming or something, this could have worked really well as a way to kind of reverse that flow. The problem is everything I listed there didn't happen. So, this feud has been terribly mismanaged because the heels, who are trying to tell us that the life of cruelty is how you win, have not won anything.
Correct.
Failure. Although on an epic level.
I would like to point out, Jack Gallagher's shoes are fucking spot on. Those guys, That guy has some taste in some clothing, sir.
Yes. I'm just disappointed that this whole heel turn of Jack Gallagher's didn't do anything. It did nothing.
Neither has anybody else's heel turn ever. And
but this did even less.
One time in the last 10 years, anybody's turn at anything has meant anything at all.
I'm pretty sure CM Punk's been in the last 10 years.
Listen, you're not allowed to use exigent circumstance to negate my fucking shit.
I mean, you're largely right, but this is done even less than the traditional turn has ever done.
You, sir, are not allowed to use greatness to negate my shit. And anyway, it's just the matches are fine. But why? Literally, why?
Why is Gallagher a heel at this point? He won more as he won more as quotation marks a clown than as a cruel mastermind.
Listen, I like it. I like it a lot. But give me a reason to keep liking it, goddammit, please.
That's exactly. Nothing has been done here. Nothing has been done. And there's so much that could be done because Gallagher has been fantastic with the material given.
The best.
Then we move on. Then we move on to the Middle Eastern battle between 2 Americans, Arya Daivari and Mustafa Ali.
Versus Arya... Wait, wasn't there a singer named Arya?
Ariana Grande?
No, that's not a thing. Anyway, my only note for this is I've seen this match somewhere before. Ampersand.
Daivari cut up Farsi promo, and Ali came out to give his own translation.
Bro, we don't speak that, bro.
Daivari's head is so far up Enzo's backside that he's eating, shit, basically.
Yeah, and then
Daivari looks like a jackass.
Then we had a match that was the same match they've always had, and then the match ended. And again, I don't have a note for who won, and it doesn't matter.
Ali won with the 054.
Isn't that supposed to be the 450?
Yeah, but reverse.
I don't care.
Tozawa wishes Kalisto a happy birthday and good luck, along with a Lucha chant.
Lucha.
No, I think he actually just did the standard Lucha one on this one.
Oh, well, that's boring and dumb.
And then we had Enzo and Gulak come up to hype up the crowd a little bit.
I got a note for this.
Okay.
It says, Enzo promo, good.
We got party stuff, we got balloons, we got noisemakers, but zero presents. And I also love the Gulak doing the "How are you doing?" Never again. I told you never again.
That's so good. It's everything you put Enzo with fucking works. It like bottom line works. Like if you put Enzo with something, you know it's going to get over. You don't know how far it's going to get over, but it's like I mixed this weird, like I'm learning how to mix gunpowder. Oh, that made a lot of smoke. Oh, that made a lot of fire. Oh, that actually went pop. Like you don't know what it's going to do, but it's like something's going to react in a violent manner, whether it be a minor key or major key. Something with Enzo is going to go poof, and the more people you can put with him, the better.
The match itself, really did nothing for me.
No, me neither.
It really kind of just reminded me of at a recent UFC event, Conor McGregor had to be told basically to shut up because he was trying to corner Artem Lobov from without being a corner man. Like he's running around the cage and yelling stuff at Artem, and the referee literally had to tell him shut up. That was Enzo here. That was really all that attracted my attention.
I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that specific thing from Enzo, just sitting next to the cake. I enjoyed the repeated Andrew Garlic, "Oh, I'm almost about to crash into the cake, but I'm going to stop myself." I enjoyed all of that. It was very good. But the actual in-ring work, nah.
The ending was kind of cool with Gulak singing "Happy Birthday" and then getting Solito del Sol.
Yeah. I have a note. The only couple of notes I have for this match is Listo Keek, Listo Steep, Listo Breath, Listo Blink, Listo Breath again. Man, totally missed where this match was supposed to be ended.
And then Kalisto and Gulak try to mug him at the side of the, after the match. Enzo ends up hightailing it out of there when Kalisto starts taking over, and then they get a little clip backstage where Enzo gets put into the cake.
Yeah, how'd they get that cake back there so fast?
I don't know.
That's amazing.
And
that's
then
the spot of the night.
Then we move on to NXT.
NXT.
We open up with Street Profits versus...
Hold on. I got something for this.
Okay.
My notes here say NXT exclamation point. Fuckboys versus greasy fuckboys.
Street Profits versus Boston Sabatelli.
Correct. My following notes say, why the fuck are we supposed to believe that the Streetwalkers are, quote, coming up from nothing, ? Fuckboys finally have some semblance of offense for once? Greasy fuckboys are gassed after 2 minutes in. Percy is now an official fuckboy as well, due to the thick accent bitch-ass comment, what a stupid cunt. Jesus, why wasn't this a dark match?
I was more high on this than you, which I find is generally the case with both these tag teams. I do have to say, the Red Cup Rebellion thing, I'm with Nigel McGuinness when he says, what are they rebelling against?
It's black.
I don't care.
The red cup is black. Go fuck yourself. Swallow 9 feet of geese.
That's I don't. It's so dumb. So dumb.
It's all kinds of dumb.
I just noted here for my own notes. I swear I saw Roxanne Modaffari in the crowd.
That's possibly true. This was not good. Followed by kind of tolerable. Followed by who gives a shit. And then we had 7 minutes of promos and commercials. I timed it.
I don't think that this was a TV quality match, but I do want to see these tag teams like these guys get some time. So I guess I'm happy with that.
Yeah, listen,
I think Street Profits actually aren't bad in the ring. To be honest, I think Boston Sabatelli are more the problem here.
I would disagree. I would say both of them are trash, and they're going to need a lot more work. The problem is, all of them have been in developmental for 9 years or some shit like that.
But yeah, it's kind of disappointing to see Sabatelli so gassed out when he's a former NFL football player. What the hell?
I don't know. And quite frankly, don't give a shit. All 4 of these guys are bad. It's taken how many matches of this fucking Street Boys have we fucking greasy watched? And they finally have some sort of double team move going on. Finally. Jesus Christ. And it was average at best. Just why? Okay, if you're gonna film it. Tell them it's gonna be on TV, only it's a dark match, and you cut it and you put some real shit on TV. Goddamn. It's your own network. Do something.
They've had worse.
Way worse. This is the best match they've ever had.
I just meant they had worse stuff on TV in general.
That's probably true. I'm not going to go back and catalog stuff, but this is the best the Streetwalkers have ever looked, and it's still just kind of not good enough.
Yeah, I've said it before. The crowd is really into them. I don't get why.
Don't have a clue.
But they're not that good in the ring.
They are not.
They might be able to become good in the ring, but whoever's training them, if the potential is here, whoever's training them has not done a good job.
No, not at all. They need to listen. You need to cut all 4 of these guys. Maybe not Moss. Oddly enough, I think Moss has the biggest future. Is that weird?
It's a bit weird because I think he has the least future.
He's
the most gassed.
Maybe, but it's still it's weird, and I'm going to stick with it for now, even though later I'll be wrong. I think Moss has the biggest future. Cut the rest of these fucking jokers and just make Moss the next Lex Luger. That's all you need to do.
He can be the next Lex Luger, I'll give you that. He's got the body.
The pro football player, cut him, he's garbage. The 2 black dudes, listen, it's not because you're black, but you're garbage, and you need to go. One of them's been in developmental for at least 5 years, right? 5 or 6?
I believe that is the case.
Go, gone. If you're in developmental for 2.5 years and you can barely get on TV, cut them, gone.
Especially with all the cost cutting they're doing and cutting people who are actually kind of useful.
Pretty much.
Then we had Lars Sullivan versus Raul Mendoza.
Sir, that's Large Sullivan?
Large Sullivan, yes.
I
have here, it's NXT's King Jobber Raul Mendoza.
I have notes. It says, Squirsh. Good moves from Mendoza, good stuff from Large. Freak Accident is a fucking great name for a finisher. Deadlift, Gut Wrench, Uranagi.
Uh-huh. And then Lars goes in for more beatdown, but cashes Ono with the save.
Oh, no.
And Lars just kind of laughs and leaves the ring. I am looking forward to these 2 at TakeOver.
It's going to be a thing. There's going to be many elbows and many cravats.
Then we have Gargano and Regal having a little chat. Pete Dunne needs an opponent. And Regal's giving Gargano a title shot next week, which kind of makes it weird that the UK title will be challenged for by a guy who's not from the UK.
I have notes. Gargano versus Dunne next fucking week? Shut up!
Pretty much.
I'm down for all of that.
Then we had Mercedes Martinez versus Ember Moon.
I have notes for this as well.
Go ahead.
Notes are as follows. La 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 la. What the fuck was that, ref? Because he did some weird, shouty, screamy, samurai, jerk yourself off in the ring. I want to be on TV, Dad.
A little bit.
They're followed by, honestly, this match is pretty boring. Typical WWE, move, wait, crap.
Oh yeah.
Zero flow or stereo storytelling. Next match, please.
Yeah, I mean the big dive from Ember was cool, but I don't know if I want her doing that with her history of injuring herself.
No, I mean none of this. It was all just kind of big, like medium spot, and we'll wait 30 seconds. Medium spot, and we'll wait 30 seconds. Medium spot, and wait 29.5 seconds. Oh ho ho, we're being clever.
Moon gets the win with the Eclipse because she's got to win. She's in the 4-way at Takeover.
Yeah.
I was let down by this because I like Mercedes Martinez, and she's a good wrestler, and this did nothing to show that.
And she looks good in them tights.
Uh-huh.
Not to be sexist, but it's true. Goddamn good in those tights.
In fairness, she was at one point known as the Booty Vulture, so she's pretty much embraced the whole booty thing.
I enjoy large posteriors.
Mind you, it was kind of weird.
I'm unable to tell falsehoods upon the subject.
It was weird to hear Jack Evans keep saying "booty vulture" during that period of time, but
I can dig that. My final note here is, well, I have a couple more, but since Moon is the only one to have a match before their match at Takeover, she will win because we're supposed to buy the fact that it's going to be some sort of a problem? Fucking yawn.
Well, they all had matches over the course of the 3 weeks before the show.
But none right before the show.
This is true. She's the last one. But we did have Nikki Cross versus Tainara, and we did have Kairi Sane versus Billie Kay. I don't remember what Peyton Royce did, but she had a match as well.
Basically jerked herself off. And then Nikki Cross showed up, and I was excited. And then Balloon Face, I don't remember. It says shit. It's Balloon Face. And then I have a note that says that Hellbow la 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 la.
Yeah, we had to get all four of them on camera, basically. Then we moved into a really crappy ending to the show where
I have notes.
Yeah, go nuts.
Champ face off. Overall, lame. Decent promo followed by lame. Predictable lameness. Where was security to keep them apart until the PPV? Because this is all very bad. Why? Question mark.
Yep. Drew basically called Andrade a ballless freak.
Yeah, which he is.
It was his character definitely is. And then they got into a brawl, and about the only thing interesting here was that Drew caught Selena's attempt at a crossbody and didn't slam her because he's a gentleman.
Correct. I would have gently placed her at 90 miles an hour onto Cien Lama's back.
Mm-hmm. And, Drew gets his leg taken out and almost stands tall heading into their match.
Lol, which means he loses.
Not a very good NXT.
If you stand tall, you lose, because WWE and Vince hasn't been outside since 1942.
I mean, in fairness, Drew should actually go over in the match, so I'm fine with that. Here's
the rub. He stood tall, or the bad guy stood tall, yet the good guy should win. Therefore, Vince will book it all wrong, and you'll have a run-in, which means that nothing happened at all.
Probably. So, I wasn't a big fan of anything really from WWE this week. Not really.
No, there wasn't anything that really caught my attention. They didn't have any really good matches. They didn't have any... There's a couple of matches on Smackdown that had some good, like, last third. But they're not good at booking wrestling shows.
Yeah, pretty much.
How it's...
There are very few storylines that are honestly working for me right now.
It's bad?
Other than that, WWE released James Ellsworth. He is gone.
What?
Part of their cost-cutting measures.
He's the biggest heel in the company.
Yeah. Yeah. The theory is that Cass and Carmella are apparently going to move in together, so they probably don't want her to have a storyline boyfriend anymore.
That's retarded.
They could have just gotten a breakup angle, but okay.
Listen. I can't think... There's Paul Heyman, and there's James Ellsworth, and I can't think of a third place for heel mouthpiece right now. Too late.
I don't have anything anyway.
So you're releasing
I think The Miz would make a fantastic manager if he could stop wrestling.
And that's probably true. Not going to disagree. But he's got that problem where he's completely shit in the ring. Therefore, I don't believe anything he says about beating people up. And he's completely shit in, I'm going to use air quotes, Hollywood. So I don't believe anything he says on the mic. And therefore, I don't buy him at all for any reason.
But I think you could buy Miz as a manager, I think.
Yeah, totally. Like, all he needs to do is stop talking about being a superstar and stop talking about being a wrestler, and he's perfect. The problem is that those are the only two things that he talks about, and therefore he's trash. So, you fired a guy who I guarantee you is making 1/10 the money that Heyman's making, but he's the second best heel mouthpiece in the company. You're fucking kidding me.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't get it.
Kind of some interesting notes here. The best friend of Ellsworth backstage is, surprisingly enough, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Correct.
They're surfing buddies.
Indeed. And I would say right behind him is Mr. Jericho.
No, I would say probably Mike Bennett. Apparently they're travel buddies. Ellsworth and Bennett in the car all the time.
He doesn't count. He's not really an employee.
He won't be for long, is my theory.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jericho also a big fan of Ellsworth, and also apparently Dean Ambrose and him are actually real cool.
I'm not surprised.
And what else we got? TNA has abolished their Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Their office workers have been quoted as saying they don't know what's going on other than we're moving operations to Canada.
I can tell you what's going on.
This fucking company.
Eli Drake next on NXT. Listen up, dummies. I'm kind of liking Eli Drake, man.
I like Eli Drake. I'm a big fan.
Can't think of Lucha Underground is not only have they announced season 4, but they're going to be moving, or they plan to be moving into a partnership with Noah, ROH, and a female organization out of Japan who I don't remember the name of.
Stardom?
Yes. So, they're planning on doing a kind of a talent pool swap type scenario. And if this is correct, we might be able to see Pentagon Dark versus Genius of the Kick.
Excuse me a moment.
Got a big raging erection right now, and I'm not afraid to show it.
Please don't. Keep it in your pants. Oh, God.
Oh, ladies. Stay back. It's not safe.
And we got a video from Lucha Underground with Johnny Mundo talking about how he's going to take everything back.
Ooh, I like that. It's not going to happen, but I like that.
He just goes through talking about everything he's done in the first 3 seasons and then goes season 4. And he's in shadow up until this point, and his face comes into view. I take everything back.
I haven't seen that. I like that. Can you... Cody Hall versus The Machine?
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that. So yeah, Lucha Underground's return has us, needless to say, hyped up.
Yeah, I just hope that the money's not short. If they can, okay, so listen, if they don't have as much money as they did before, I understand. If they can partner up with all of these other organizations and you get, let's see here. Hold on, I got something for this. Dalton Castle versus your boy M-Dog 20.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
Or Angelico.
That'd be cool. Or whoa. Dalton Castle versus Joey Ryan.
Silas Young versus Joey Ryan.
Oh.
Who's the last real man?
The Sleaze versus the Grit.
So, if the money is a little shorter than usual, I understand. Also, there's some talk that some of these guys are going to take them to court. They haven't been paid in a year and a half by this company that still holds them under contract. Apparently, a lot of them signed a 7-season contract. So there's talk of some of them taking the company to court. You haven't paid me in a year and a half, yet you try and hold me under this contract. That's bullshit. I understand that. But please, let me see Nakajima versus Pentagon Dark. Please. Oh, holy under the whiskey. Yeah, so there's some stuff going on, but I really hope it works out.
We probably brought it up, but James Storm has officially left Impact Wrestling.
Sorry about your damn luck. Maybe he'll go to Lucha Underground.
I think he's said that the door is open for him to return to NXT. Apparently, he's discussed it with Triple H.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that at all. But wouldn't it be cool if he made a pit stop in PWG?
That'd be very cool.
That would be Silence Young versus James Storm.
that's all I really got for news this week.
Pretty much.
So, in exciting times right now. So, you want to talk about Takeover and Survivor Series?
I don't know. I don't think there's much to talk about. I'd rather just kind of watch and enjoy. I mean, you're going to arouse the pessimist in me that says that Vince is going to stick his dick in at the last second and fuck everything up. So, meh.
Fair enough. We will avoid that fantasy booking fun or torture, depending on how you look at it.
Listen, Ember Moon's definitely coming out with the title. Your boy, the Scottish Nightmare, should come out with the title, but they won't because it doesn't make any sense, and then they're going to release Cien Almas like 2 weeks later anyway. Nikki Cross should win the title and give the Japanese lady something to chase. Hint, hint, hint. And Wargames. Listen, if you think you're setting up the AOP plus the Ruddy Strong, you are barking up not only the wrong tree, but you're probably in the middle of an open meadow.
Probably true.
Probably true.
Yep. We got Survivor Series this week as well. Should be a mess.
Lars Sullivan for the win.
And I feel like I need to look up if this is actually the oldest Survivor Series collective age ever.
I don't know. I mean,
Probably
it was
is.
the one with Warrior, the Road Warriors, and Hogan involved. I think that might... No, maybe not. Maybe not the oldest.
This is still up there, though. Still up there.
Yeah.
And at a time when they really need to be making some new stars.
Yeah, they're not capable of doing that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I guess they're thinking, well, we'll make Bobby Roode into a new star. He's 40.
He is 40, and also you're playing him as a face when he should be a heel. Hey, that was a question I was going to ask you. Who am I cheering for at NXT again?
Drew McIntyre?
No, he's a champ. I'm not cheering for him.
Aleister Black?
Cool, but they're trying to push Purple Guy, so not cheering for him.
I mean...
Do they have faces?
Cash Sono.
He's losing to Lars Sullivan.
Oh, he's losing, but he's a face.
Cool, but he's a loser.
Oh, by the way, apparently Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black have been really, really good at the house shows, so maybe that'll be good.
Hey, listen, if they got their shit together, I'm interested. But NXT faces ?
Not a ton. I mean, Roddy Strong, I guess, although he's losing.
Yeah, but they're never going to give him a title. There's like the whole thing with Roddy Strong is he's always chasing, and he's going to be the next Zack Ryder. You give him the title for like an hour or less if you have to, because Vince doesn't understand faces draw money.
Yeah, I think that's all we got for this one, though. We're up to an hour and 15 minutes, so let's
get out.
So blow the whistle here. Tune in next week, and we'll also probably... we might have something on Sunday about Survivor Series and TakeOver as well.
Listen, here, I got myself a headphone splitter. I am equipped. My boy Joey's coming over for Survivor Series. It's either going to be you, me, and Joey, or me and Joey.
I'm going to have a family dinner, so I might be back to be able to record with you guys, but I probably won't have watched the show at that time.
I think you just need to really recognize the fact that you're going to be sick that day.
No. No.
I've been ill.
Oh, come on. I have to be there for the amusement of my family being together, because that's going to result in a food fight.
I have the bubonic plague. I cannot go on.
We'll see. We'll see.
Come on.
All right, that's all. That's all we got. Enjoy. Tune in next week, and hopefully WWE has us a little more positive. Until then, get off Byron's lawn. God damn it.
Listen. Bring beer. Leave me a lawn chair and GTFO.